a world on the move. Millions are displaced, but where are they going? This is a question that demands our attention and action. We've all seen the images, heart-wrenching scenes of families torn apart, children crying, and people in despair. Desperate families crammed onto overcrowded boats, risking their lives for a glimmer of hope. Exhausted children trudging through mud, clutching their parents' hands, their faces etched with fatigue and fear. Over 100 million people worldwide have been forcibly displaced from their homes. This staggering number continues to grow. These are mothers, fathers, teachers, doctors, and children. They are people just like us with dreams and aspirations, but their lives have been upended by conflict, persecution, and increasingly climate change. They face unimaginable hardships. They are forced to flee the only homes they've ever known, seeking safety and a chance at a future. Their journeys are fraught with danger. The majority of refugees aren't arriving on the shores of wealthy nations. Instead, they find refuge in neighboring countries. They end up in neighboring countries, often facing precarious living conditions and uncertain futures. Their struggles continue. It's time for a serious conversation about global responsibility and the moral obligation of wealthy nations to act. We must come together to find solutions. The weight of welcome. Who's really opening their doors to refugees? Let's talk numbers, people. It's time to dive into the statistics and see who is truly stepping up to help those in need. Low-income countries, already struggling with poverty and limited resources, are hosting a disproportionate number of refugees. These nations, despite their own challenges, are providing sanctuary to millions. According to the UN Refugee Agency, over 80% of the world's refugees are hosted by developing countries. This means that the burden of care falls heavily on those least equipped to handle it. Think about that. Places like Bangladesh, Uganda, and Lebanon are opening their doors, offering what little they have to those who have lost everything. Meanwhile, many wealthier nations are building walls, creating barriers instead of bridges. They are turning their backs on the global responsibility to protect the vulnerable. These developing nations are showing incredible compassion and generosity. Their actions speak volumes about their commitment to humanity. Meanwhile, many rich countries are falling short of their commitments to resettle refugees. They are failing to live up to their promises and moral obligations. We need to move beyond the rhetoric of fear and embrace a more humane approach to the global refugee crisis. It's time for a collective effort to ensure safety and dignity for all. A question of conscience. Can we ignore the plight of those fleeing for their lives, seeking safety and hope? This isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. This is about human beings, real lives at stake, families torn apart, children robbed of their childhoods, individuals stripped of their dignity. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that everyone has the right to seek and enjoy asylum from persecution. Turning our backs on refugees is not just a legal issue, it's a profound moral one. Beyond borders, beyond fear. The real impact of welcoming refugees. When we open our hearts and communities to those fleeing conflict and persecution, we not only offer them a lifeline, but also enrich our own lives in countless ways. Welcoming refugees isn't just a moral imperative, it can also be an economic and social win for everyone. These individuals bring with them a wealth of experiences, perspectives, and skills that can greatly benefit their new communities. Studies have shown that refugees, given the opportunity, can contribute significantly to their host countries. They fill labor shortages, bring innovation, and help to rejuvenate declining areas. They bring skills, talents, and a drive to succeed. From artists to engineers, chefs to doctors, refugees have the potential to make substantial contributions. They start businesses, create jobs, and contribute to the tax base. Their entrepreneurial spirit often leads to the creation of new industries and services. Refugees are not a drain on society, they are a valuable asset, if we only give them a chance. By providing support and opportunities, we can help them integrate and thrive. The key is to move beyond the fear-mongering and misinformation and to embrace the possibilities that come with welcoming newcomers into our societies. Together, we can build stronger, more vibrant communities.